Today, we are welcoming Prasad Rangnekar back on the show. He's been on here before. Let me ask you, what is your suggestion to India?
For better health?
For better health.
If we take the whole of India, then we definitely need to work on malnutrition. Focus on growing right food, supplying right food, feeding people properly needs to be a foundation for health. Only when they are healthy, they can have well-being. Without health, there cannot be a well-being. But that's not the case with the urban people. Depression, obesity, heart issues, diabetes, it's compounding. India is a very, very diverse nation. For urban population, I think preventative care through yoga is absolutely necessary. We come from a culture in the sense Ayurveda-based healing tradition, which looks at well-being, not just fitness. Ayurveda looks at harmonious working of all the systems of the body as a definition of wellness.
How do we get these busy people to start?
Well, like I said, I'm an educationist, so for me, education is the key.
Welcome to the Rita Date Show, where you find information on M&M, mind, nutrition, movement. Information all backed by science. Today, we are welcoming Prasad Rangnekar back on the show. He's been on here before. We talked about kind of the history of yoga, how it's changed, spirituality in India. And you told us your journey, how you started when you were almost 9 years old. He has been a yoga educator now for 40 years. He's taught thousands of students, teachers, and spiritual seekers. So I'm happy to welcome him back. Prasad, today we're going to talk about the health of the nation. So let me ask you, as a yoga educator, what can we do with yoga to help improve the health? I mean, we have lots of issues, okay? I'm talking about physical health, mental health. We have people are just on a treadmill at the moment. There's no cooks at home, there's nannies at home, they're managing 100 things. So it's much easier said than done to say go to exercise.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, what is your suggestion to India?
For better health?
For better health.
If we take the whole of India, then we definitely need to work on malnutrition. That's a very, very big issue with India. And there cannot be health and well-being. Well-being is a secondary consideration. First consideration is survival. And we are looking at a land where still over 35% people are malnutrition, especially kids, infants, with women too. Over 20% women are malnutrition. So when we think of health in India, looking at our population and looking at the kind of demographic that we have, I think focus on growing right food, supplying right food, feeding people properly needs to be a foundation for health. Only when they are healthy, they can have a well-being. Without health, there cannot be a well-being.
Yeah, I think, I have written a lot about obesity, so I'm just, we have the dual burden, of course.
Yes.
So I've just skewed toward talking about that or thinking about the disease that happens from there. But yes, I mean, everything from, like you said, malnutrition.
That's why I said whole of India.
Yeah, all of India.
Now
yes,
let's take
absolutely.
urban India.
Urban
like
India.
You said,
yes.
Urban India, the problem is different.
Yes.
But anyway, the whole of India too, the situation is much better in the current survey that we had at the national level, which I think ended in 2022. The markers were much better than the earlier survey. But that's not the case with the urban people, Depression, obesity, heart issues, diabetes, it's compounding. So, India is a very, very diverse nation.
Yeah, it's hard to peg one
Absolutely,
solution. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, on one end we have malnutrition issues, and on the other end we have lifestyle diseases because of eating wrong food, not exercising, non-communicable diseases as they call it. So it really depends. Policymakers, I'm sure they know what they're doing, but need to have a very broad perspective towards India and create policies like that. For urban population, I think preventative care through yoga is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, that's what my next question was. But how can yoga help? Yes.
I'm an educationist and I really believe in education. So, education, not just at the information level, but at the level of habit creation. And I know the newer policies of the government are doing that, like yoga asana, pranayama, health camps, need to start from ground up, demographically and also age-wise,
Start young.
Yes. Also looking at our culture. We come from a culture in the sense Ayurveda based healing tradition, which looks at well-being, not just fitness. Fitness is a very new Western idea. The definition in Shushruta Samhita of Ayurvedic book, Shushruta Samhita, is a very broad-based definition which actually gives importance to not just the corporal variables, but also mental variables, emotional variables, sensory variables, and creating a harmony in all of them. So, Ayurveda looks at harmonious working of all the systems of the body as a definition of wellness. Now, for that, we need to start educating people right from the get-go. The child should know, and it's happening quite a bit.
It is, okay.
It's happening quite a bit, especially due to social media, governmental policies, private players, public players.
That's good to know.
I see a lot of good stuff happening.
Oh, good. And I guess International Yoga Day helped a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
International Yoga Day helped. But also you see a lot of fitness influencers. I will not say everybody, but like awareness of eating excess sugar.
Right, yeah.
Awareness of or normalizing, or no, I will not say normalizing, but at least bringing things like depression and anxiety in a public
So it's not a stigma.
vox pop, public sphere.
Right.
These are very important steps.
Why is it that we are just more depressed these days, or is it do we have the gene? I mean, there is a doctor who says that Indians have the gene. He's a well-known doctor, and he said he practices in Bangalore. And before, when we were, in the early days, we were told what to study. We were told who to marry. We were told like what job to get, how many kids to have. I mean, everything was, you didn't have to think too much. Now we have all this freedom where all of a sudden we have to decide what we want, what career we want. We have to find out the right partner. So that has added a lot of depression, anxiety. So do you find that? Do you think that is the case? It could be the case.
The gene?
Not gene, the situation, these circumstances.
Of course, I mean, we cannot deny the fact that, one study said that India is one of the most depressed nations in the world, if not the most, So, the mental health crisis of India is very, very, what you call very strong, at a very scary level.
Really? I thought Indians are content. When you go around, you see smiles on their faces. You see people like around a tea stall.
Statistics don't say that.
Statistics don't say that. Okay.
No, it depends what you want to.
I would just like to think that maybe, but because you do see happy people, like, I don't know, when you go around, you don't feel down. You feel like happy when you go around the
but also
streets
things
and
like depression are not
not overt. Yes.
I mean, you could be acting, you could be
Yes,
playing,
absolutely.
you could be. Sometimes
Suicide rates are high, and the people who
suicide rates are absolutely high.
commit the suicide, you would never ever know that they
Yes.
had depression.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Like one day you're sitting with your friend, and next day he's not with you anymore.
yeah,
You know? So, I mean, there is a lot of stress. People may be faking it, but also culturally, you're not allowed to express that you are depressed. You just have to, as they say, man up and pull
Yeah.
through. In this sense, there's a lot of work to be done in normalizing, especially when it comes to women. Telling them it's okay to speak, it's okay to express, and things like that. I mean,
yeah,
we can go on and on
know,
about
okay.
this because it's such a broad topic. But like you said, yes,
yeah. They
there
have
is
to
a
express
huge
it.
need.
Yeah,
But we have preventative ideas in the sense yoga, Ayurveda, are primarily preventative modalities.
how do we get these busy people to start to like 10 minutes a day? Or I know there are these lots of apps, and there's people on Instagram telling them to do it. You have any suggestions on to getting them to actually getting down to doing something? Whether it's 10 minutes of sitting down and doing asana or closing your eyes and just...
Well, like I said, I'm a educationist. So for me, education is the key. So at school level, we need to normalize exercise. We need to really dedicate more time to exercise, going out, camping, socializing, not just the physical variable, but also the social variable, interactional variable, mental variable, because we come from a culture of moderation. Bhagavad Gita says, Yoga Samatvam Uchyate. Yoga is moderation. So chapter number 6 of Bhagavad Gita asks us to moderate our lifestyle, our food, our sleep, our activity. So our culture has always encouraged moderate lifestyle, simplistic lifestyle, humble lifestyle. That needs to be woven back.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I always thought people were content, but I think that has changed.
Absolutely.
Because of aspirations or whatever.
Which are not wrong, because our culture also allows for aspiration. In the 4 Purusharthas, we can see importance given to Artha and Kama. But Artha and Kama is not the end. There is Moksha at the end. So somewhere people need to know how much money is enough. How much corpus is enough. How many cars do you want? Why do we have 5 cars for a family of 3? Why do you have, whatever, 5 apartments? All that. So it really needs to start from bottom up, as I say, from the school, at the college level, at educational level, at professional level, at office.
Yeah.
Make breathing breaks compulsory. At the school.
Breathing breaks, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that in corporate setups. I was once hired by a school where I had to teach the teachers to execute a protocol before every class of theirs, before every lecture of theirs, where the kids could just collect their mind, their awareness, and then begin the class. So, just like a teacher would walk in and start with a roll call, after the roll call, my protocol involved making the kids sit, calm their minds with certain modalities, and then begin the class.
Wow.
And the result was extremely good.
Wow, that has to be done everywhere.
Also, at a family level, encouraging group activities, family activities, encouraging, it's just coming out of the top of my head, these ideas.
The phones are not helping these days. I think
Absolutely. Despite being in a family of 5, you consider yourself lonely. Why? Because people are not talking, people are not interacting. Even if you interact with your colleagues or others, it's about what did you watch last night, or where did you eat yesterday, you know. As yoga would say, we need to have authentic interactions in our society more.
So what's a good topic of conversation? Like, for example, families eating dinner. I mean, what happened in the day? What happened in school? How was work, Baba?
What really happened?
What really happened? Okay.
How are you? Really, how are you? And you can tell me how you are. It's okay to tell me how you are. Look into the eyes of the other person and ask them authentically that they are okay to share with you.
This is something new, because I don't think we had this with, at least with our parents, or our parents had it with their grandparents, right? It's little, of course, it was a different dynamic, but I think the dynamic now has changed, where nuclear families, and that communication is there. We have to make sure that it's there in the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, really, again, this is a very broad topic. Reflecting on ideas like success, ambition. Sometimes the kids become the report card of the parents. And the parents want to make something out of their child which they themselves could not achieve. Because of which they push the child. And that's not what the child wants to do. So, these are deeper conversations.
Right.
And this is why I really would love to see, like in old times or even in villages, people sit under a tree and just have conversations at the end of the day.
Yeah,
right?
That's what's missing.
Old people sitting and talking, or we play, like boys and girls sitting in their little group. It's okay to not be okay needs to be normalized.
A lot of gossip happened, but that was also okay. That was part of the...
You know what? That's also that's also how people bond.
Yeah, that's how, because you knew everybody. So and that was the information. That was the entertainment.
If you don't have much larger scope in your life, okay, let's say, a little gossip will boost your oxytocin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, do you know what happened today? And in some sections of society, that do you know what happened today will keep them in a positive high for a couple of days. Yes. So, I'm not saying, I'm not encouraging gossip, sorry. But what I'm saying is these lighter moments,
Yeah.
Or like...
Everything doesn't have to be so serious.
Absolutely. Yeah. That needs to be encouraged. My Instagram ID bio says doing time pass.
Oh yeah, yes.
Right? We are a land of time pass. When I grew up, time pass was normal. Wasting time was normal.
That's why we have 5 days of cricket.
I mean, absolutely. No, just sitting. Right now you go downstairs and you will see there's some people just sitting at the bus stop. They don't want to catch the bus. They're just sitting, looking, observing. People watching was normal.
Yeah.
Doing time pass. What are you doing? Nothing. You call somebody in India, ask, what are you doing? Nothing much. So actually they are doing time pass, just doing things here and there. This should be normalized.
Yeah, I need to do more of that.
Absolutely. I have convinced myself to fall in love with doing time pass. So much so that now it's a part of my bio on Instagram. Not many people understand. Yeah. Because time is like a noose around your neck.
Yeah.
And that itself is one of the reasons of either burnout or depression. So sorry, did not answer your question in a very. But I'm just throwing ideas around here.
Ideas is why we're here. What we're here for.
Lots can be done.
So the term yoga therapy is quite popular right now. How does that help, and is it a buzzword, or what can it do for helping the health of the nation?
All yoga is therapy for me. Even from the definition. Yoga is considered as dukkha nivritti, removal of suffering. So in that sense, traditionally too, yoga is a therapy. But not therapy as in quotes, therapy as we understand it now. For example, look at Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was spoken for Arjuna's therapy. I mean, if you look at chapter number 1 and the first 10 shlokas of chapter number 2, you see Arjuna's mental health. You see his state of mind. And then whatever Krishna says, and then bam, at chapter number 18, at the end of it, Arjuna says, Nashto moha smritir labdha. Means now my delusion is gone and I remember what I have to do. I found my clarity. Let's do this. So the whole arc of 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita itself is therapeutic. So it starts with a patient called Arjuna in his Arjuna syndrome, in his despondency. And at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he's healed. So all sorts of yoga is therapy. Patanjali says, Heyam dukkham anagatam. Means the future suffering can be avoided. I mean, that is the classic definition of healing, therapy, whatever you call it. But in the sense of yoga sense, or Indic sense, Indic knowledge system sense. So I would not say yoga therapy is a buzzword, but what could be the buzz would be the lens with which we look at therapy. If you look at Ayurveda or Indian ancient sciences of healing or knowledge systems, never approached anything unidimensionally. Like for example, pranayam has become a breathing modality now. But prana doesn't mean breath.
Right.
Doesn't only mean breath.
It has many meanings, yes.
It has many meanings. Absolutely. I mean, when we eat fresh food, we say good prana. So we're not breathing the food, yeah? So when pranayama is dumbed down to breath work, we are just looking at it from its one singular dimension. Same with therapy. If you look at therapy as only fitness, only this, then it just becomes partial view of a very broad perspective. And human person is such a multidimensional being, you can't just look at one perspective. So what would yoga help is, yoga would help us in broadening our vision of the person and understanding which aspect of therapy this person needs. Otherwise, you need mental therapy and I put you in asana, which is fine, it will work. But why take them round and round, you know?
Right.
So I believe in the therapeutic power of yoga. And all yoga is therapy.
Okay. I agree. But like you said, it's such a broad topic. We can talk about it in so many different ways. The kids, the office goers, women, etc., etc. So my last question to you is, if you had the ear of the Ministry of Ayush or Modi ji himself on helping the nation improve its health, what are the 3 things you would tell them?
I have to say lots of good work is happening, especially after formation of Ayush Ministry and all. My first suggestion to the ministry, nothing new that they don't know of, but nutrition. Focus on nutrition, especially infant and mother. Number 2 would be education. Education in the sense, education that does not reduce yoga to just an activity or PT period or this
Competition.
competition. But again, this education in the sense of habit forming education. Yoga not as a class but as a sadhana. If this is put in the head of the kids, if the teachers can make the students, the kids fall in love with their bodies, with movement, with muscles, with breath, you are nurturing a child who grows in self-awareness. And kids who are more self-aware, more with themselves, will make better individuals. So education, again, not like, yeah, but we have 3 sessions of yoga in physical education class, not like that. Education that really makes them create a habit formation. And third, normalizing of issues that are considered taboo. Like speaking about depression, the lots of suicide helplines that have come up, which is excellent. But just normalizing, just making them, just like we have ads about don't smoke, don't drink, don't eat tobacco. Same way we need in the public sphere reminders that if you have depression, do this, 3 signs of depression, and things like that. Like we have so many celebrities come and do public message about polio drops or vaccination and this and that. Like this, again, this is happening now, but mainly due to private players. But because mental health crisis is really, really big in India. And whatever the stats are, they are scary.
Scary, yeah.
But I also feel that the stats are just the surface.
Oh, okay. That's not good.
Because who is going to, in a conservative society like
Who's
India,
going to actually tell
who's
the
going
story?
to accept to even a stranger who comes for a survey, do you have depression? People don't even, not the urban society. Not everybody is urban in India. People don't even know what is depression. People don't even know that there is something called as depression. People just, I am sad. But at what level you are sad? People have no idea what depression is. I'm just feeling sad. And this is how one feels. Even my mother felt like that. Mother will say, everybody feels like that. That's normal. Or just beat up your child and don't sit there quietly. Come on, get some work done.
Yeah.
This needs to be in the public sphere.
So I know I said that was the last question, but I have one more.
So wait, let me
go
recount.
ahead, please.
What was that? Nutrition? Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Can't help being a
nutrition.
teacher. Nutrition, education, and more awareness.
Awareness, yes.
Normalization, I would say.
Okay. So maybe Ayush will tag you.
Okay.
But my last question is, in schools, should we be having more of teaching of these, like you said, when you started the school with a prayer. Not all schools do that.
Yeah.
Should we make it compulsory? I mean, it doesn't have to be, I'm not saying religious. It doesn't have, I mean, Catholic schools can start with the Catholic prayer, which they do, but should we be doing more of that? And for urban, or not just urban, anybody who wants to foster that, initiate their children into more of a rooted path, spiritual path. I don't want to say spiritual. What should they teach them first? Is it like Amar Chitrakatha, or do we like get a Bhagavad Gita and read to them, or what do you suggest?
Asking questions.
Asking questions. Okay.
Critical thinking. Critical thinking does not mean being non-religious, or if you teach your child critical thinking doesn't mean they will become a rebel. Why people don't want to teach their children critical thinking is because of fear of child becoming a rebel and then going against the family. So this is just catastrophizing the small issue, you know.
Right, right.
I mean, actually, critical thinking should start from a very, very young age. And in that critical thinking itself, spiritual teaching should come up. Spiritual teaching means not mainly religious, but religious. Now, how to orient your child in your religion is each parent's perspective.
Right.
But that critical thinking comes with asking. Like Bhagavad Gita says, when you approach your guru, just do two things. Number one, offer service and inquire. Pariprashnena sevaya, Bhagavad Gita says. Prashnena. So you inquire from a teacher. So that spirit of inquiry has been there in our land, ecosystem. Take
Heritage.
it Buddhism, Jainism,
Yeah.
Sikhism, Hinduism. It is a part of our land. So ask questions. Dad, why is the sky blue? Now, if the dad doesn't know, dad can Google on the side or ask Chat GPT on the side, but furnish answers.
Yes.
And no question is a wrong question. You know, like in the school, how many, I did not have the courage to raise my hand, even if I knew the answer, for the fear of being wrong. You know, so once that spirit of inquiry comes up, then you can teach them value system. You can, if you teach value education without spirit of inquiry, it becomes dogma.
Value education is one of the subjects they have, right?
Yes, that's why they have. But you
They don't
have
ask
to-
questions.
No, don't hit anybody and always speak the truth. Okay. So it's dogmatic, no?
Yeah.
But why should I not hit anybody? Oh, you don't want me to hit anybody. But a soldier can go and kill somebody at the border. How is that okay? You know, so this should be encouraged. And like I said, it's a part of our constitution. It is every Indian citizen's duty to help spread spirit of critical inquiry is a part of Indian constitution. So we
That's
should do it.
fantastic. That's a wonderful way to end this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Prasad has a wonderful YouTube channel. Where can they find you?
Yoga Prasad Institute.
Yes. And this is our second episode with Prasad. Our first one came out a month ago, and we will have more. So again, thanks, Prasad.
Thank you so much.